Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Devin Thomas back with another episode of Unscripted. It's been a good week. It's been a long week, folks. It's been a fucking slow weekend. I'll tell you what. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Easter. That's why I didn't do the pod. I was like, God damn, I gotta do it. And then I got caught up in the holiday spirit. What can I say? But yeah, no, Easter was good. It was low key. Went out to my parents' house. Stevie, Christine, and I. And we, actually, I don't think Christine went. No, she stayed. She had real estate appointments. Unbelievably, she had fucking business on Easter, and it was like, go. Just like, go do your thing. So, anyways, long story short, yeah, we went over to our parents, did a little sausage and chilled, and it was nice. You get that Swiss sausage. I don't know if you guys know about this, but like, there's fucking this type of sausage in our area, Zio's Swiss sausage, or I've heard other people call it Zio's, but I've always known it as Zio's brand sausage and meats. And I don't want to blow the spot up, but like, it's the best fucking Swiss sausage you can get. And I don't even know if it's like a regional thing or something. It's a very Salinas thing, I'll say that much. And anyways, we fucking barbecued some of that shit up and just chilled. It was like a very nice low-key Easter. It wasn't too crazy. Hung out with my parents. We watched Cocktail. We'll talk about that later at the other end of the episode, but it was good. It was good watching it with them. It's funny because it came out in 88. I think they got married in 88, 89. And the movie had parts in Jamaica, and that's where they went for their honeymoon. And I was kind of like, I think that it's actually funny for them to see that time, like, captured the way it was, because it seemed like, it's fun, but it seemed like an accurate depiction. But anyways, we'll get into Cocktail later. One of my favorite movies. It's just a fucking great early Tom Cruise cut. But yeah, Stevie's health update this week. He's been doing way better than he has been, but he's still like, he's just not out of the woods. And like, at this point, like, we're just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. But yeah, no, he's like 95%. He's almost there. He's like not in the condition he was. Like, he couldn't get out of bed for some time. And no, he's out in the backyard stretching. It's just like there's like an irritation, he told me. And I guess it's like myofascial, like the connective tissue in your muscles. That's what's really the problem. But excuse me, he's getting to the bottom of it. He's been doing like some unique therapy that I think you could only really know how to heal this if you've been through it or have it, or you've gone to like everyone and tried to figure it out yourself. Cause he's even talked about after, he's like, maybe I'll just like help do like, a non-medical like therapy, like for people to release this. Cause he's like, he's talked to so many doctors and nobody's really had the answer. Nobody's been able to say like, hey, like definitively, this is exactly what's wrong. There's been a lot of people who've gotten like nailed it on the head, but weren't sure. They're like, I think it could be this. Or, even masseuses being like, I think I know what it is, but like, I'm not a doctor. So I don't know. It's just, it's been going on for way too long. He knows it. I know it. Everyone knows it if you've been listening to Unscripted. But anyways, did a little more therapy this week. I think I went back to Tanya's. Yeah, it was a long week. Back to Carmel. Got another massage. So he's been healing up. Yeah, he's been trying to feel better, to say the least. Everything else, though, it's been good. We've been filming a lot, and I'm sure you've seen if you follow me on like Instagram or YouTube. Well, actually, a lot of the YouTube videos are private. They're like just test footage videos. I'll start releasing some. I should cut them together and just drop them. But yeah, Stevie and I have been just going out and filming. I've just been filming like crazy. Like, at this point, I'm kind of like, I'm trying to make it like an everyday thing. Because filming used to feel very like ceremonial. And like, we're going out to film. And then like, I kind of am at a point where like, even doing the pod, like this is ceremonial. I come out here, I film it in a certain way. But I'm at a point where I'm like, God, like, I don't want to be too precious with it. And like I'm saying, I'm calling it ceremonial. Like, oh, like we're filming, right? And it's good to set that tone and have that. But I'm also in like a voracious, like my appetite's big to like film. Like, I just want to like film as much shit as possible. And I also like, not to toot my own horn, I just feel like I've gotten so good as like a director of photography, which isn't even like my first thing, like writer, director always. But like, I'm pretty good behind the camera. And I'm like, fuck, man, like I might just like, I'm just going to film as much as possible. I'd possibly even get into just DPing other people's films too. Not all the time, but like if somebody needed it or like the project felt right, I would be like, yeah, like let me, like, cause I have like a buddy who like wants to make movies too. And he is like way more the director type. He thinks he got to have the whole 9 yards, but it's like, you kind of want somebody with an experienced, little experience behind the blade when you're going to war, right? You don't want somebody who's never fucking seen battle. And it's like, yeah, dude, like, I know what you want. I've actually been through the trenches. Let me guide you on this, So I've been thinking about that. And I also think that's like, just like filmmaking, like for me, at least, just like strictly DPing a project would be like more collaborative for me because I'd give away so much control initially already starting it. Right. So it's just something I've been thinking about. I also just love like even if I was just writing and directing my own movies, which I am, and shooting them, like I trust myself the most. If there was a good DP that I like respected and wanted to use, I'd use them for fucking sure. I would. And if it was in the budget and the, all the cards, we had all the cards, but I don't mind shooting it. It's nice to be behind the camera. There's a sense of like, I kind of joke with Stevie, but I'm like, it's almost like a painter painting. Like he's holding the fucking brush, right? I look at the camera as my paintbrush. I'm like, yeah, like I want to hold it. Like I want to make sure that I capture it the way I think it needs to be captured. And even if I have to give away that control at some point while I'm directing or writing and directing movies, I'll do it knowing that like, hey, like whoever I'm working with is like, I trust that they're even better than I am, or that they're going to elevate this thing and maybe understand what I want. And they will, because if we're on that level and we're working like that, they will. But until then, like it's such a valuable skill to be able to like do production yourself and capture the movie yourself. And I just realized that is kind of like the biggest, thing I've realized is like, okay, like I really know what it takes to make a movie. And it's almost like somebody who's taken apart the car engine. I've used this example before. Once I take apart the engine and put it back together, like I really understand what's going on under the hood. It's not just like looking at it like I don't know. Like they know what part is probably fucked up if the engine's not working. And you just got to put your 10,000 hours in. And for me, I think with filmmaking, understanding production was where like I needed to understand it so I didn't fear it, And I think that's something just to think about with anything you're doing is like the thing that you're afraid of. Like I remember I used to be afraid of the word aperture. Back when I was like, 17, I was like, what the fuck? Like, is aperture? This is so complicated. And like, no, it's not. Like you learn this shit, you test it, you fucking go out and shoot all the time. Even now, like I'm so experienced and I'm still even reflecting and being like, God, I'm really shooting a lot right now. I'm really learning even more than I ever have. And my results are the best I've ever had. I shot some shit the other night and I was trying to make it look like a certain movie, right? And I played the footage after and Christine was watching it and she's like, this looks like Good Time. I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted. The fact that I'm able to go out and emulate and get the results of what I'm trying to emulate and have like similar imagery, or like somebody even just say like by just looking at it, like, oh, it looks kind of like that. I'm like, okay, I know how to get the aesthetic. I know how to control the image and shape it. And I know what I need and don't need to get this like achieved. I don't know. I just feel like I'm at a point where it's like I just understand it. There's not really like, it's not even that there's not more to learn. I was just saying like I'm still learning. But I'm saying I understand it so thoroughly, like I'm just ready to go to war. We've had some speed bumps after Peninsula Nights. We've had some shit that's just, like unexpected stuff like CV's health that just stopped us from like getting to the next movie and doing stuff. But like, I can feel the change in the tide right now. So with that being said, it's like, well, fuck, like I'm shooting. He's out there with me. I'm feeling like, okay, like the next thing's, it's coming soon. It's going to be very soon. And I'm really excited to shoot it because I wrapped Cork on that note, just kind of talking about what I've been doing creatively. I wrapped the Cork script last night. It was a fucking long rewrite. The script's already 110 pages, right? And it's ballooned up to like 165. So I got like a 2 hour, 2.5, maybe 245. Like if it was like just pages talking, like 2 hours and 45-minute movie. And I'm like, okay, like it is an indie drama. I wouldn't mind. And I personally don't give a fuck because like I don't have to answer to anybody. But if the movie, even if it did come out that long, it'd be fine. But I do think I could like slim it down. I think it's just like when I was rewriting, I just added, maybe added more than I deducted, but I felt like it just needed this little extra on this pass. And like I was really crafting the dialogue. I was making sure it felt honest and authentic. And there's just something I'm going for with like the way people talk in movies. And I think it's all there. I'll always go back. I'm going to do one more draft because I sent it to Stevie and I was like, hey, like read it. But I already like was reading it myself. I'm like, there's some changes that need to be made. But yeah, so Cork's done for now. And I'll revisit it. I'm sure, like I say that right now, draft 6 probably coming soon, right? Just because I'm going to go back. But so since Cork is done, I was writing 3-Day Weekend. I put a little pause on it. Not that I don't want to make it. I love this fucking idea. And it's like always been a tough cookie to crack. I'm beginning to think that movie I could actually just improvise. And I mean like straight fucking up, write pages and just be like, here's like some pages. Like, why don't we kind of wing it? This is what I think should happen. But if I have a full script, and I always say that, and then I end up writing the full script because I'm like, fuck it. Like we don't want to fly blind on the shoot, right? You want to have something that you can look at and be like, this is what's next. We're not going to just fucking sit here for a day and be like, well, we couldn't think of something. or whatever, it's good to have a blueprint. But since then, I've kind of put 3 Day Weekend on the side, and I've been thinking about like this like Salinas thriller idea. I kind of pitched it last night, but something about watching like Better Call Saul, and like we watched Hell or High Water the other day, some fucking Taylor Sheridan shit. It made me think, I'm like, God, I also, it's because I went out and I filmed with my camera. I went out and I filmed with my Panasonic HC-X2. And I was capturing this nighttime photography, and it was just so fucking good. And I'm like, you know what? Salinas low-key does have that like Albuquerque texture to it. It's kind of like old world in the sense of like the Old West or something. Little cowboy kind of like vibe going on. Definitely a cowboy vibe going on. But it looked so good at night. It kind of had this small town Americana feel that I was like, God, like there's a story here to be told, especially one of these nighttime thrillers. And I've said this before, I love nighttime movies. I love a nighttime thriller, like Nightcrawler, Good Time, etc. And I don't know, I just kind of had like a flash in the pan, but I was like, you know what, there's something here, and I've been kind of brewing on that idea. And I think having Cork done, at least tentatively, has opened the door for me to like look into making that idea more seriously. Especially because like, here's the deal. Woodland Hills is probably the plan. If we're not going tomorrow, I need to have something I can work on here, especially with Stevie's health being better. So I'm thinking the Salinas thriller, like, and especially with like my new philosophy on production and ability on production, especially with this Panasonic HC-X2, it's like the Swiss Army knife of fucking filmmaking. I think if I'm here, I can go out with this camera, Stevie, minimal crew, minimal cast, and just go bang out another feature. I know I can. And it's just a matter of it's a matter of starting, matter of getting to work. And I think it's, there's, like I said, there's something here with the Salinas aesthetic and everything. There's a story to be told. It's also home. So it's kind of like, yeah, like I know this town better than fucking anyone. And it's just the spots and the way, like, even with Sinner, it's not on YouTube anymore because fucking got hit with a copyright claim. And I think they straight took it down. It got a fucking ton of views. It was like the best short film I'd put out in terms of like organic viewership. I was like, wow, like that, people like it. But yeah, I used some music from Eyes Wide Shut, and they shut us down. They shut us down big. And I was really sad about that. But what the fuck was I going to say? We used Winchell's in the fucking video, and Winchell's looked amazing on camera. I'd shoot it again. But I love that, like, and when I make like reference like Better Call Saul or like Taylor Sheridan shit, anything like Americana, even in Good Time, they show White Castle. I'm like, God damn, like I always say this, America's a movie set. Look at White Castle. Like, you see it 100 times. But it's like, it fucking just looks cool. And there's no fucking way nobody else is thinking. If I was a foreigner and I was watching this movie in like Europe, I'm like, well, that's fucking America. Like fast food, glorified in this fashion. And it's just, there's something about it. It's like, it's our shit. It's our culture. But anyways, yeah, I think I could go out and bang this little feature out. I think Stevie and I can do it. Like I said, I was watching a lot of like Breaking Bad and like other shit, Better Call Saul, and like there's something about that like Americana crime thriller vibe that it just speaks to me every time I watch it. I watch Good Time often. I'll just throw it on. I just fucking love watching this movie, and I think there's something like that to be made here. And also like the way it's made is authentic too. It's not quite mumblecore. It's like elevated, but there's a sense of like improvisation. Christine was just showing me something. She hasn't really watched Good Time. I've watched it many times. But she was saying like, oh, like it says here, like the Safdie brothers improvised scenes. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like sometimes when you're just making something and it's like off the cuff and there's an energy about it, there's obviously a screenplay to that film, but like there is something about that just like, hey, like this is in the moment. Like you two are here and let's just think of what would you do or how would this play out? And it's kind of fun to do that. I think that gives it its own, not tone. It's like a texture to the film. It's just something about actors just kind of going off the cuff, and it feels so honest and authentic. It adds to the realism. I think that's what I'm really looking for, is the realism and the truth of the moment, which is what makes you kind of come back to good things. Another movie I've talked about, but I'll reference it here as well, that has that like thing I'm talking about is like American Honey. If you watch the film, there's something authentic about Shia LaBeouf's performance and the character star. I can't remember the actress's name, but they feel really lived in. They feel very like, you almost feel like it's so intimate and personal looking into their lives that, because you feel like you're a little part of their fucking like personal life while you watch it. And I know a lot of movies do that, but I'm saying in this specific like tone and, way I'm like pitching it, that's, I think, some of the magic of it. And I get this is a crime thriller. It's a little different, but like you still want that lived in feel no matter what. You don't want it to come across too like corny and like, noir-y in the sense that the character sounds like he's saying like, tough guy lines or, just like written shit. I don't know. I like something authentic and real. I heard somebody say the other day, I think it was the guy who played Logan Roy. He's talking about Tarantino. I love Tarantino, but I get it. Sometimes he says the wrong shit. Said something about how like why he wouldn't want to work with Quentin Tarantino is they said Tarantino, like when you're in his movie, like you're doing what Tarantino wants. Like you aren't as an actor given a lot of freedom in the sense to like portray it the way you think it should be. It's really like you're doing the Tarantino thing. And it's like, he's not wrong. I get it. It's almost like Tarantino line reads his actors, or like he performs for them. And it's like, hey, like I kind of want it to be like this. And they're thinking like, well, you're fucking Quentin Tarantino. I'm going to trust you on this. And Quentin Tarantino also has a background in acting, so I get it. Like he's not, completely out of pocket trying to do that, but it's a different style. Like, I think he's at a point where he's like, well, hey, like if you want to be in my thing, like you're going to do it how I want. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if you're an actor, you're signing up, he's probably going to be pretty frank with you, and you're going to know that going into it. And I think his reputation succeeds him in that respect. But for me, and I think a lot of other people, like I think, like I always say, you kind of like write the script and you give the character away. I don't mean you completely fucking take like, no, like, hey, just do whatever you want with it. It's like, take the character, take the lead on it. I'm trusting you with him. I already believe in you. I don't want to have to do too much heavy lifting because you are good. And I think instilling that faith in the actor and that confidence is also something that like, I just, if I'm going to trust somebody to do anything, it's going to be to fucking act, because production and shit, I'm like, that's my burden. Don't fucking worry about what's going on the other side of the camera. And I'm trying to reduce that burden even more, because pulling focus and some other shit as a one-man band was a real bitch on Peninsula Nights. And I could tell that my lack of capability could sometimes affect not their performance, but you could wear them down, because like you can't do 200 fucking takes, right? And it wasn't like that most of the time, fortunately, but I digress. Their job is really to bring the truth to the moment, into the words and, the lyrics and poetry of the film, if you want to call it that. It's their job to breathe the life into it and put soul into it. And that's, that's the whole goal of casting people that you think are right, and the right people will do that. And you won't have to fucking do too much like tinkering, in my opinion. But anyways, just a little food for thought. I mean, I get Tarantino's philosophy. I know some other directors are like that. I mean, I've heard Kevin Smith even talk about when he was younger, he was just like a real fucking like, stickler for like, hey, you're going to say exactly what I have written. And as he's aged, he's kind of like, well, look, like if it's a word or two off, like I fucking get it. Like, you're a human being. And also like, sometimes it's good for people to speak in their voice. And that's like another person who's like, really is like, his voice is in the fucking, the dialogue so hard. It's like hard not to hear him amongst all the other noise. No one talks the way those fucking characters talk in Kevin Smith movies. And I say the same thing for a Tarantino movie. Some people have such distinct voices that it kind of succeeds, like I said, all the other fucking minutia of someone's performance. You're really getting what they're selling you. And there's nothing wrong with that, but a little food for thought. Anyways, been thinking about that movie, been thinking about a lot of shit, been filming a lot of shit, editing a lot of shit. I've just been having fun too. I've just been going into fucking DaVinci Resolve and just editing like color grade after color grade, titles, shit like that. Just being like, fuck it. Like, I just know that the fucking big war is coming. These are like the little battles before we get back into making another feature. And like, I also think like, I just watched Mark Duplass do his follow-up on South by Southwest. 1 second. He just did his follow-up on South by Southwest. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I've shared it with friends. Mark Duplass's 2015 South by Southwest speech. And he really, like, the thing to take away from it is the cavalry isn't coming. No one's coming to help you make your fucking movie. No one's coming to help you make fucking money. Like, no one's coming to help you in the sense that, like, someone's going to magically tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, it's your turn. It's up to you to create this fucking dream. You want to get a movie, you got to fucking take action, right? You can't sit around and fucking dream like, hey, like, I hope someone calls me and says, like, hey, like, we want to pick you. It's your time to fucking be a movie actor or director or whatever, right? And I get it. I heard the message loud and clear. I heard it then when that video came out. I've been hearing it my whole life. I've read so many, like, my first movie books or, like, whatever. They all did it themselves. They're self-starters, right? So that's for damn sure. You got to get out there and fucking, get the ball rolling on whatever you're doing. But when it comes to, like, I guess, like, the next movie or whatever we're going to do, it's just about, like, going into it with, like, a less precious mentality. And that's kind of what Duplass talked about in his follow-up speech, like this new one that just came out from South by. He talks about how, like, we're living in a time where, like, once again, it's indie revolution. You're going to have to go out and the world's changed again, is what he said. Now it's go out and make a $5,000 movie for $10,000 to see if you can make it really good and try and put it out yourself, or try and actually get it licensed to a fucking streamer. People aren't buying movies the way they used to. He even said minimum guarantees are low. I kind of have already been saying this on Unscripted for like the last year. We're going to be going on, I don't know, a year and some change now, but I've seen this pattern. I've been in tune with the business. I already saw this coming. Independent creators that are actually doing this shit that we're doing right now, actually making films and putting shit out, are going to be the ones who get a benefit the most, because good or bad, they're going to make money. I just heard Theo Vaughn, I think he was talking to Vince Vaughn. I think he was. Or maybe he was talking to Joe Rogan, but they were talking about just independent distribution. And I think it was with Joe. And Theo was just saying how he's making this movie Busboys, $3 million budget. He was making it with David Spade. And he's like, hey, like, look, if the movie goes well and we sell a bunch of fucking tickets, great. If it doesn't, whatever, we own it. We can fucking license it out, try and make money, monetize it ourselves. He really said, like, it doesn't fucking matter. And it's like, well, of course Theo Vaughn's going to make his $3 million back. He's going to have at least, you know, enough fans go and see it or buy merch or support him. And it doesn't even really matter because he's probably making so much money already. But think about him doing it. He's a fucking superstar. He fucking puts out a movie, markets it, does the road show, does whatever he wants to do, runs ads, licenses it to a bigger fucking person like Amazon Prime. It is the future of filmmaking. Being the independent creator that can actually like produce it, put it out, sell it to the world. And if you do get some fame or acclaim, you can go back and just keep raising your, you know, not your price necessarily, but reinvesting in yourself and trying to get more money out of it. I bet I got something in my eye. But anyways, yeah, I've been thinking about just like even that application in my own life and like how to put that into, you know, filmmaking on the whole. Just been thinking a lot about career, a lot about filmmaking, and just like how all this shit correlates. The pod, the movies, the writing, the fucking everything. You know, the entertainment business is kind of like, you know, the big veil of uncertainty has been lifted. I really see it. There's also been so much exposure of like how Hollywood has been like, Hollywood's not done. Not in the sense that they say, like, I get it. They're moving the fucking Oscars out of Dolby to downtown. Like, yeah, Hollywood Boulevard, maybe it's done. Hollywood, the name of the business, will follow it wherever it goes. You know, most of the shit's shot in Burbank. Doesn't matter. It's all Hollywood, right? The world knows Hollywood is the fucking film making element of America. I think it's just kind of like whatever comes next is like I said, it's just the independent film wave. People are gonna be making shit. I'll cap this on what I was saying earlier. If I go to Woodland Hills, great. If I'm here doing movies, great. Wherever I go, I'll be the best independent filmmaker I can be. I'll be the deadliest independent filmmaker I can be. I'll be the one who's actually taking action, actually getting shit done. So that's really, I think, like the state of the business. Be deadly. Be fucking the best version of you. Try and make as much shit as possible. Don't sleep on yourself. You can go down and you can go get the fucking set job or do all that shit. Like, that's fine. But like, if you're like me, I'm not saying like you can't. If you want to be like a crew person and fucking crew up, go down there, join a union. I don't give a fuck. Have fun. You'll probably have a lot of success. But if you're trying to be a writer director that wants to make shit independently, like, just fucking start betting on yourself. Like, just start reinvesting in yourself. Like, don't wait. You know, you got to start experimenting now so you can figure out how to fucking do it. You can't sleep on, oh, like maybe in a few years I'll buy that camera. Just fucking go and buy it. Go and get this shit. Start using it. Start learning. Otherwise, you're just going to keep falling further and further behind. The best thing I did was invest in myself. And I think that's given me, also making the movie was like the best thing, because it gave me like a head change, like psychologically, where I'm like, I understand it. I don't feel like I'm on the other side of like, you know, like the audience side. Now I feel like I'm on the other side. And like, it's interesting to see how, you know, so much has changed perspective wise, especially the perspective of action. It's just all action. If you can do it and you can dedicate time and focus, even like doing the pod every week, I make time for this. I don't have to do it. I like to do it, but I also have to fucking make it, put time in. Like, this shit doesn't just happen. I wish it was that simple, you know, like, but even like a guy like, you know, I mentioned Theo Vaughn, like that motherfucker took action. At some point he set up the camera and started fucking making content. And now he's making $3 million indie fucking movies and doing his pod and fucking being a personality, like as a comedian, right? It's just funny to see how, you know, how does this all integrate? What is the, you know, the network that you're building with any content you're doing, and how do you make it worthwhile at the end of the day? And I think a lot of that, for me, at least as an independent filmmaker, is, you know, consistency, action, just keep going, you know. I hope you all do too. You know, keep going, keep fucking making moves. Oh my God. I'm fucking parched. I don't know what it is. All right. End of the monologue. End of the rant and ramble. Excuse me. Movies I watched this week. I mentioned it earlier at the beginning of the pod, the top of the pod. Cocktail, 1988. Director Roger Donaldson. Writer Haywood Jablonski. Cinematographer Dean Selmer. Starring Tom Cruise as Brian Flanagan, Brian Brown as Doug Coughlin, Elizabeth Shue as Jordan Mooney, and Kelly Lynch as Carrie Coughlin. All right. If you haven't seen Cocktail, I mean, go watch it. It's a fun movie, but it's also got this like kind of dramatic underlying story. Like it gets really extreme at some moments. Like you'd be surprised at how deep it goes. But I remember I wasn't like hip to this movie for a while. I think I watched it in the beginning of COVID, maybe 2019. I remember the first time I saw it and I was kind of going through like a Tom Cruise phase, I remember. And I was like, I got to watch all the Tom Cruise movies. I was just like, fucking, I think I watched Top Gun, which is like a classic favorite. But I watched it, I'm like, God damn, like I feel like I really only know Tom Cruise for like Mission Impossible, Top Gun, Vanilla Sky. And I guess Tropic Thunder, you know, I hadn't really dived into his like filmography. So I was down the Tom Cruise hole, and like Cocktail was one of the movies that stood out to me. I just like, there's something about it. And watching it yesterday on Easter, a lot of the themes stood out to me. I wrote some notes here. I said, the American dream, personal identity, career, agency, like those themes of like being able to be in charge of your life. He's a guy who like leaves, I'll set up the tone here, or the premise rather. Tom Cruise is a guy who like, he's leaving the military. He's back home in his town. I think he's in New York or Jersey. He, goes to his uncle's bar to get a job. And then he decides to like pick up another job at a different bar. And he meets this guy Coughlin. Maybe it's at his uncle's bar. I don't remember. But anyways, this guy Coughlin and him hit it off. And, he's just a kid trying to make it. And this guy gives him life advice and they become buddies and they're always trying to one up each other. And he kind of teaches him like this, like degenerate life advice where he's like, hey, like how to be a player and how to do this and do that. And anyways, long story short, Tom Cruise's character throughout the movie talks about like how he's like, oh, maybe I'll open my own bar or have my own dreams or this and that. And his other friend's kind of like, he's probably in his 40s and he's kind of like, hey, like, you know, I don't really dream anymore like that. Like I'm just trying to like marry some rich lady. And like Tom Cruise's character ends up having a romance with like a wealthy chick who parents don't want him to be with her. And it's kind of like this whole messy drama about how the friend who gives him advice also like at some point in the movie, he like kills himself and it's bad, but he kind of like marries and does the things he says he wants to, like marry a rich lady and set up for love. And he ends up killing himself because he feels owned by the lady. And then I think Tom Cruise tries to like date like a rich woman as well at some point. And like, he just learns that like, he really just wants the real love, right? He wants the real deal. Long story short, you know, the movie, it capped on like timeless themes though, like the American dream, like what do you really want? Identity, like who am I? Like how do I want the world to see me? And also like career and agency, like he is not ashamed of being a bartender. He's good at it. But I think he'd rather own the bar. He's thinking the, you know, future, like how do I become like, well, where do I go from here? And there was something honest about that. And I think it's based on a book. I'd like to read the actual novel because I feel like I like the movie so much. I bet you the book's like a cut deeper even than that. And I don't know, like the movie's got some cornball scenes and some like shitty, not shitty, but like really corny dialogue that's kind of like, okay, this is fucking ridiculous. But at the heart of the film, there's something very honest. And I think that's what I like about it. I think I like that it really, I don't know. It showcases like that time in your life where you're really trying to figure it out. And I feel like right now in America, that's mostly like 20s and 30s, you know, but I mean, I've met people in their 40s still trying to fucking figure it out. I've met people in their 50s still trying to figure it out. I think at some point it's like, you know, and there's different phases, you know, life is so, but yeah, that's, I think what, like, once again, what makes it timeless though, is people are always trying to like, you know, to live the dream or figure out what their dream is and how to do it. And his character, especially like through bad experience, like even like the Coughlin guy, like the buddy who's giving him advice the whole time, he kind of sends him as like, it's not like a suicide note, but it's kind of like a goodbye note. And he's like, hey, like, you probably already know this by now, but I'm full of shit. Like, I don't have it figured out. All my little laws and fucking advice. He's like, it's just, you know, and he's like, it's at the end of the day, it's really bar talk. He's like, hey, like, it's good to get laid, man. But he's like, I don't think this worked out for me in the long run. And that's kind of, I think, even like purpose-filled life, like these themes, like, I know this is the movie Cocktail, but like, I saw these themes yesterday. I was like, there's something deeper going on here. having purpose, maybe having the right partner, not fucking being like just a hedonist like the other character was. The Coughlin guy was a hedonist. He just wanted to have fun and pleasure and drink and, a new girl every night, and it's like, I get it. I wouldn't compare it to like Siddhartha, but there's like definitely a parallel to Siddhartha to be made here about like just seeking pleasure and just like wanting life to be great all the time, fun all the time, it's like sinning all the time, right? Being gluttonous or, like coveting thy neighbor's wife, etc. There's a lot going on. I think like, Cocktail really captured that moment in America, but also like, kind of just the American dream forever. The late 80s, you're talking about a waspy time in America, that Wall Street kind of image, the stockbroker image was like the image everybody wanted. And I don't know. I think it really like, it captured also like the vacation culture, like going to Jamaica and fucking, like that was a luxury. It was something that people wanted to do, not necessarily a sign of wealth. Like his character goes there to like bartend, but affluent people were at the beach in Jamaica. Like that was implied that like, oh, there's like rich cougars here and stuff. And it's just interesting. It definitely captured a time in America, but the theme of the movie was timeless. One second. Goddamn. I don't know what it is. I'm just fucking dying of thirst. All right. So, Cocktail 1988, go watch it. It's one of Tom Cruise's better movies. And also, if I keep mentioning the Brian Brown, Doug Coughlin character, if you've seen Along Came Polly, he's like the crazy Australian guy that Ben Stiller's character, Ruben Pfeiffer, is trying to fucking insure. So he's a great actor. I haven't seen him in much else, but if he pops up, I'll know him. He's fucking great in Cocktail though, and he's really great in the Along Came Polly. So the next movie I watched was Mercy 2026, starring Chris Pratt. There's some other actors in it. I didn't really know them that well, but the director Timur Bekmambetov, sounds Russian. Timur Bekmambetov. I sound fucking stupid saying it. Writer Marco Van Bell. Rebecca Ferguson reported involvement. I think she might have played the AI, to be quite honest. And she was really good. Anyways, Chris Pratt, megastar. Everyone fucking knows him. This movie, Mercy, was, I think, MGM. Came out on Amazon Prime. Stevie wanted to watch it. He's like, hey, I saw this trailer for this new one, and it looked good. Whatever. Excuse me. And we threw it on, and it ended up being like kind of just like a you can't take your eyes off it type of movie. Premise is basically Chris Pratt is a guy who wakes up and it's like, I think they call it the Mercy program. It's like a justice system thing. It's like an AI judge. Chris Pratt's character wakes up and he's told by the AI judge that he's being accused of murdering his wife. And we don't find this out right away, but it turns out that he's actually a cop or an attorney, and he is the one who fucking invented the Mercy program and this like whole AI judge thing. So throughout the movie, I won't ruin it, but like it's kind of a thriller that leads up to like a who done it and like who put him there and if he killed his wife or not. Really good ride. I won't ruin it, but like, a movie like this can be tough. It's mostly Chris Pratt in one room, but the way they cut between him and the other officers out in the field trying to help solve the murder, other characters that are involved, like people from work, her work, etc., the daughter's boyfriend, like they did a good job at making you just keep guessing all the way up until the last beat, and it wasn't too predictable. And movies like this, sometimes they get shit on because people are like, oh, like that big hunk of shit. It's like, nah, not really. Like this one had like, it had something going on that made me like respect it. Like there was like a heavy, heavyweight actor who's going to like fucking like Chris Pratt alone is good at keeping your attention, and he could carry, like he's fucking insane. But yeah, this one was really good. It also was like really like a good moral dilemma for like how AI may be used in the future. Cause like the last thing you want to be dealing with, like you try and make a phone call to fucking AI. Imagine trying to get out of fucking, a murder, and the judge is fucking AI and he or she is judging you, and you're just like fucking like, what are you going to do? It's like talking to a fucking robot, quite literally. So the way they did it in this movie though, kind of gives you like an idea, like, oh, I can see how that could work, but it's also terrifying. Like I've also been thinking a lot about AI just lately, and it is kind of scary. Like it's getting to the point where it's kind of like, God damn, like I hope AI doesn't just make everything like, so automated and so controlled that like we have nothing to do. People need to do shit. I see that they have that new robot. I think it's Sunday, and it's going to fucking like do your laundry and do your dishes and, probably wipe your ass next. And it's kind of like, I don't mind doing the dishes if I have to. I don't mind doing the laundry, but here's the other half of that. The other side of that, rather. If I already had something that could do it, would I care? Probably not. I just, I think the whole thing of like autonomous robots walking around and doing shit in my house just seems fucking weird. Like I got this mannequin in my garage. It's been here. Maybe you've seen me post it on Instagram. And I can see it right now. And if that thing started fucking moving, I would be pretty fucking freaked out. And I don't know. I've seen iRobot. I've read a lot of, Isaac Asimov. It doesn't seem like a great idea to have that type of shit walking around the house or like, I don't know. But I also get it, like convenience, saving time. It'll be interesting. I think we're living in a very weird time. AI to do shit, like if a kid wants it to help him fucking make his essay better, fucking, like what are the teachers going to do? I already see they're trying to police that shit. But as long as it's safe, like as a tool, AI is great. But as like legit artificial intelligence, like, being embodied into like a robotic body, it's a little weird. It's strange. Just makes you think like, what is the world going to look like in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100? What are people going to be doing? Are we going to just be living in like a utopia where we just don't have to worry about doing shit anymore and like everyone just kind of hangs out? Or is there going to be jobs in the sense of like, there's always going to be certain jobs, but I'm thinking like long run, like everything is getting automated, everything is getting put into like, even in this movie, the AI judge, right? I don't think we're there yet, but like, what's next? AI 911 dispatchers that are really good. You can't tell, like it's the Turing test status. Like, hey, like, hello, this is like, Monterey County 911. How can I help you? What's your emergency? Yes. Like an emotionless fucking AI on the other end that can't get mad, can't talk back, only takes what you say factually. Are you following them? Are you doing this? Are you that? Where's the location of your emergency? Blah, 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 blah. That doesn't sound that crazy to me. I don't think it's that far off from having like such a good AI that it's like, hey, like without a doubt we can use this. And there might be liability issues with that. Like, hey, like we need a human to take those calls for like accountability reasons, etc. Or like, but this is off the cuff. But I'm saying like, who knows what's next and like how far it'll go. I think, AI is only going to, it's here. It's never going away. It's only going to improve. Let's see where it goes. And Mercy kind of touches on those themes and the things I'm talking about right now. Is like, where is AI going to go? Where is it going to take us? And how is it going to be implemented into our everyday lives outside of just like ChatGPT or like Grok, it's interesting. It's really interesting. It's a fucking strange time to be alive. And it's just weird because like, 100 years ago, you had people writing about the idea of this shit actually coming to fruition. And now it is. And it's, people, we're going to live through the AI boom. I've lived through a lot of booms, apparently. The .com, the, tech bubble, real estate collapse, a recession. And now I guess the AI fucking like possible bubble. I mean, the AI will probably technology wise bubble up in the financial world, at least. Like it's not going to be new at some point, right? But it's going to be a sustainable like sector because AI is just, it's going to be so, I mean, we've been using it for a long time. There's a lot of things that have used AI, video games have used AI for years, but like this is a legitimate form of artificial intelligence and like it's only going to get smarter. Those machines are only going to train harder and learn more and index more. And where it goes next is going to be interesting. Another movie I watched this week, and I'll just tie it in. I've talked about it, I think, before on here, but I watched it a few times. Steve and I have just thrown it on, is Ex Machina. And of course, that movie just like, it touches on like exactly what I'm talking about here. Like, when is it going to be so good that AI is like, almost godlike? It can read people so well that it's like, well, I can just play you because you can't tell that I know what you're thinking just based off your facial expressions, or like, it's just got every, most people aren't human lie detectors, but an AI that can index everything in the world could become a really, dangerous, powerful thinker, especially if it's like, well, hey, like I know like FBI and CIA, like lie detection tactics. Well, like I don't. And if that's how the AI can do it, or they can program it that way, whatever it has. If it has ChatGPT, like, or not ChatGPT, it just asks itself. It's AI. Like, how can I be the best, whatever, doing whatever it does? It's kind of like the Matrix when they load shit up into like Neo and he's like, hey, I know Kung Fu. It's like that. Like they can just make him good at whatever they want him to be good at. Like I said, Ex Machina, this movie, Mercy, they touch on similar themes. Mercy was good though. Like I said, I saw it on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. Chris Pratt, he's had some movies I don't love. Like he had that movie, I think, on Netflix that was about something with Millie Bobby Brown. I just tried to watch it. It was bad. The Tomorrow War, not for me. And I don't even want to disparage him. I like his work. It's just, they weren't movies for me. And like this one was pretty refreshing. I was like, okay, at least it's current, very, very Hollywood. It wasn't like, it was agenda free. Let's just say that. Is this movie just wanted to entertain, and it was very good. It was really interesting. I think this might be the last movie I watched. I watched it while I was just hanging out, and I threw it on, and I've seen this movie a few times, but actually I watched it quite a bit. Deep Water. It's directed by Adrian Lin. Screenwriter is Zach Helm and Sam Levinson. Cinematographer is Eagle Brild. It's starring Ben Affleck as Vic Van Allen, Ana de Armas as Melinda Van Allen, Tracy Letts, Lil Ray Howery. I don't remember what parts they played, but Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, right? It's a very slept-on movie. If you haven't seen Deep Water, it's on Hulu. I think it might be the only place you can watch it. It came out in 2022, kind of late pandemic. I love this fucking movie. It's kind of like a southern gothic horror, not horror, thriller, where it's almost got like Cape Fear vibes. There's something palpable about it taking place in like Louisiana, New Orleans area. And Ben Affleck basically is this like guy. He seems well-to-do. And Ana de Armas is his wife. They have a daughter. But Ana de Armas, like her character is like, they've got this relationship where she is chasing young men around. They have like in the first scene, they kind of show them like having this like ambiguous moment, but then it cuts into his like waking life, and they have a party, and he's a normal guy. I think he sold like technology for drones, and now he just kind of works on writing. That's his thing. I think he works on screenplays. He might be a writer in the film. And Ben Affleck's character kind of like has this big party and entertains. His wife wants to do it. He's kind of like, hey, whatever she wants. He loves her. But Ana de Armas is chasing around these younger guys at the parties and acting kind of like she's single. And like, there's a scene with the house party in the beginning where he like looks out the window and sees in the garden that she's like kissing this guy that she's invited over. And he kind of reacts strange. He's almost mad, but he's almost like, like not unexpecting of it, but not like outraged. He doesn't like it. And it's kind of like that throughout the film. He kind of has this thing where like he's not accused, but like there's a rumor going around town that he killed somebody, right? And he kind of implies that his wife may have known the guy that died, but they have this weird back and forth where like he kind of scares the guys away by being like threatening, and like a few of her boyfriends end up turning up dead throughout the film. I won't ruin every beat. But yeah, and it's kind of ambiguous. It's like, is Ben Affleck killing people that his wife is having affairs with, but is okay with it? It almost seems like a mutual understanding. Is this their little game they play with each other? Is like, hey, like I date him, you kill him. It shows me how much you love me. You don't really know, which is kind of why I keep revisiting the movie. It's like there's this ambiguity of what's really going on. More of a cut and dry. I think, yeah, like Ben Affleck's character is probably like killing people. The motivation is kind of left to be unclear, but that's besides the point. What I do like about this movie is that this movie kind of goes there. There's a, like, I talked about sex in movies and that the other day, right? But what I liked about Deep Water is that it showed like a lot of skin. It had a lot of body in it. And it's like, I don't mean that just because I'm saying like, oh, look at Ana de Armas, she's hot. It's like, there was something authentic about it. And also like, there is something about like erotic cinema, like where there's nudity and sexuality that it's visceral. You can't deny it. Like there's something interesting about this to me, right? It also adds to like, maybe this is an adult movie. This is a movie for fucking like, you know, people over the age of fucking 18. They're going to want to watch this. I think the bracket's 12 to 24. Well, after 24, you want to start seeing shit with people your age and fucking a little bit more going on, not just Hollywood beat sheet. You know, you want some fucking philosophy, a little, you know, intellectual talk. Like I need to be fucking, you know, drawn into something more than just an explosion. And I think this movie does that. There's like the relationship, you know, tension. And then there's like also like these like, not even male insecurity things. Cause like you think Ben Affleck's character may be like insecure, but he's actually completely calm and collected. He's embarrassed about his wife's behavior sometimes. There's like things like the movie has so many like layers going on. Their relationship's very complex. At the end of it though, I do think like, despite all their complex little nuances of their relationship, that they're like, he's really like doing whatever he's doing for her. And it makes her think that he wants her more. There's something about it. It's not like they don't bang. Like they fuck in the movie plenty. It's just, it's interesting. And it's a movie, like if you haven't seen, go watch it. There's something about it. It just draws you in. It's like, watch it during the day. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those movies you throw on in the middle of the day when it's fucking hot. You got the day off and you're like, you know what? I just want to watch something I can really like sink my teeth into and just, you know, lean into it. Let it fucking play. It's almost a movie you could probably have a drink before and just kind of like just fucking sit back and enjoy and just, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're in Louisiana. And I'm trying to overhype it. You know, it's not like the fucking world's like best movie, but like I really don't, I don't criticize movies like on like critical scale. Like Did I like it? Did I want to watch it again? Would I watch it again? Fuck it. I don't need somebody else telling me if the movie was good or bad. And if there's universally disliked shit or, I get that. I can get with the cultural phenomenon if something's disliked or well-liked for other reasons, But anyways, Deepwater, 2022, really good. And Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, I do think they dated for a bit. Maybe it was during the production of this film. Besides the point, though, you got two mega stars in this fucking thing, which, watching a movie star like Ben Affleck, and I dare I say Ana de Armas is a movie star as well. I believe she is. Seeing two big talents like that paired up for a film, it's impressive. Like there's something like just about that as it is that's very captivating. I think Jacob Elordi is also in the film. Yeah, he's in it. There's some other faces you'll see throughout the film. Nobody like super famous, but like Elordi's in it for a bit too. I think he plays one of the other boyfriends. So you get to see a lot of fucking star power in one movie. That's also very like, I think that's the other thing too. I'd say this, it's not like a low budget film, but it's more low key. A lot of it takes place at the house, a couple locations around town. But there's something about that. That could have been because it was filmed during COVID. I know people were doing real fucking slim and trim fucking shoots during that time. But there's almost something about it that I like. I like it when it's like not all the bells and whistles. The way it was shot too was something where I felt like I could have shot it. I don't mean that in a pretentious way. I mean like it felt like, over the shoulder, fucking shoulder rig, kind of like framed up, big fucking portrait shots of people. It just felt indie. It felt indie with mega stars in it and a good fucking script. And, can't say enough good about it. Really like Deepwater. But anyways, I think this week I might go see fucking Mario. I heard it was not as good as the first, but you know what? Like people are judging the Mario Brothers movie off the fact they think this thing's got to be fucking, best picture at the Oscars. It's like, it's fucking Mario Brothers. It doesn't need to be Shrek. Just let it be what it is. Be a fun watch. I also want to see that Project Hail Mary. I've been saying that for the last week or two, but I may end up catching it at fucking home if I don't see it in the theater. Anyways, this week was good. Got a lot of shit done. Been filming a ton. I'll probably film again tonight. I've just been loving fucking shooting. Been writing. I've been doing it all. I've been doing it fucking all. I've been burning the candle at both ends creatively. So yeah, and I'm gonna just keep on fucking working it. Keep on shooting. Just get out there and do it. Anyways, guys, I think that's about all I got. I'm Devin Thomas. This is another episode of Unscripted. I'll talk to you all next week.